Welcome, everyone. Hey, hello there. Looks like it's saying an error occurred on Rumble. Wait a moment, then try again. I'm going to pop over there, try to get Rumble happening. Let's see what happens. Let me know, folks. Oh, it's still not letting me do it. So we'll see what happens. My apologies. It says an error occurred on Rumble, usually temporary. Wait a moment, then try again. Well, I'll keep trying. In the meantime, for those of you tuning in here on YouTube, welcome. Lovely to see you. We're coming up on the eve before Mother's Day, and this Psychic Tarot forecast is looking at the upcoming week starting today, May the 10th, and going to the 17th. So before we get started, I'm going to take a moment to remind you, as always, like, share, and subscribe right here on the Beyond Mystic YouTube channel. And hopefully you'll be able to follow us over here on Rumble. And you can find consultations with me at beyondmysticconsultations.net. And use the coupon code below to access a 10% discount on a 1-hour session. As I say every week, these sessions are, here, let's talk about that. Let's look at it. These sessions are recorded. You have access to the recording indefinitely once you download it. And I'm taking bookings now into early June. I'm quite booked up at the moment. Actually, I think there might be some available in the week after next, but the last week of May is full. So pop on over there. There we go. Pop on over there if you want to see me before June. Love it. Okay, everybody. I don't know if it's live on Rumble yet. The little reminder is not there at the moment. So let me know, for those of you coming in on Rumble, if the Rumble feed is happening. Little bit of a tech glitch here. Hi, Corinne and Susan and Marie and Frederick. Hello, Linda, Angela, Tara by Lupo, Cobber. Lovely to see you all. Let's jump in and see what's in store for us. I know that it was very helpful for me last week to have that recognition that I needed to not try to push too hard. I needed to take some downtime. It was very interesting because I found that, even though my sense was that there wasn't any time, my schedule was too full, I'm dropping things off the edge of the plate, taking a little bit more time actually allowed me to I had one very productive day where I got so many things checked off the to-done list. I call it the to-done list. And it was just helpful to remind myself not to push to the extreme that sometimes feels like what the world is driving us to right now. We've got all of this high sensational energy in the media, and everything feels so critical, right? It feels so much, even astrologically and in the media, it feels so much to the nth degree. And any part of our nervous system that is wired to respond by overreacting or overachieving, we can drive ourselves into full-on burnout, because clearly, I guess we're all recognizing that, this is a long game we're in now. So we really want to kind of pace ourselves and not throw ourselves into, I want to say, just any sort of too extreme reactions or responses. So anyway, that's what this week allowed me to notice, that when I calmed down and took some space, even though I thought I couldn't really afford to take the space, it did create more of a sense of spaciousness. Look at that. There's what's on the bottom. So that's still, as we just said, really in the ethers right now. Nine of Swords, anxiety, high intensity, high stakes, lots on the table, and no end in sight of that. I think that's partly what our crew are feeling kind of burned out, because we've been like, there was overall some idealism, I think, as we went into this, realizing, oh, wow, yeah, this is where we're headed, and what a beautiful new earth that is. And I think we're starting to really get with the feeling that this is a great journey, a grand adventure. We're grand adventurers, and it might continue to unfold in more and more, I want to say, expansive, unpredictable ways. And so we want to, yeah, we want to shift gears, is what I'm getting, into something that's more about um, sustainability, endurance. All right, rant done. Hi, everybody. Yeah, lovely to see you all. Oh, Rumble is down. Shoot. Let me just see if I can go over there and fix that. I'm going to try again. No, it's for some reason not happening. My apologies if you're jumping over from Rumble. Yep. It's just the way of things right now. I'll keep popping over and see if I can fix it. All right, here we go. We're going to lay out the big picture overview. Oh, this is so interesting. I was meditating before we started, and I was like, ooh, this is a go big, go home week, go big or go home week, which is this. That's the little tagline that I put with this card, go big or go home. And there it is, the very first card of the spread. This is where we're at. A big turning point, a big potential to up level. Now, I asked about if there was also the Four of Wands in this layout, that would represent like a double whammy of that. So we'll see if that card comes up. But we're off to the races here in the way of big wake up for all of humanity, big up leveling potential for our community, being asked to, as I say, step forward, go up, like advance, accelerate, go up a level. So we're thinking about that energy of sustainability and endurance, as opposed to throwing everything we have at any one of our decisions, choices, activities, and so on. Okay. Whoa. So we've got the big wake up call in the House of Aries, personality, the self, the ego. We're ready to go up a level. And we're also ready to hold space for people waking up. Interesting. We have in the House of Taurus, money and resources. This is often relates to real estate. It relates to investments. It's a pentacle, and it is a pentacle that gets gifted, rewarded, offered. It can be giving a gift, receiving a gift, buying or selling of some of your assets, and or making an investment. So it's a very good positive card. Like when we have the aces, that's about turning over a new leaf, and this is in the area of resources, money, material security. And yeah, this is the House of Taurus, so it's all about that. A good time perhaps to make a big decision, to make a purchase, or to put a house up for sale, something like that. Aha. Okay. So, Two of Wands, it's a littler gateway than the Four of Wands, but it is a gateway card. This one, Judgment, is a big gateway card Two of Wands, also a gateway, not as big, but it is a lot about seeing the big picture, looking at your long range plans, zooming up, uh, and especially about choices about where to live, where to invest. You may be even expanding out from what you thought a couple of years ago. You may have expanded out to a larger perspective of um, where home is, what that looks like. Very interesting. It's this card is, we say, it's a good position to make an educated choice from. You see how the character is standing up on an elevated position, looking out at the whole landscape. And they even have the globe in their hands. So they're at a very good place to make some long-term decisions, perspective, plans, and it's in the house of Gemini, which is ideas, visions, and plans. So drafting your vision board, um, looking at the big picture, making some long-term plans around the next couple of years, keeping that big picture elevated perspective and going more expanded from where they keep saying from where you were a couple of years ago. So notice how far you've come and how you see things differently from this new vantage point. Very cool. Just going to check in and see how people are feeling. Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm gonna just go back over to Rumble again. Did it go? No. That's something's funky there. All right. So we're coming down now into home base security. This is House of Cancer, which is about among other things, it's our relationship to our family of origin and especially to our moms. So, oh, how sweet this is. How sweet this is. Um, yeah, very, very lovely. This is a child card, an inner child card. It's also a nostalgia card. This is a very nostalgic week where we get to go back to those original relationships. You know, it feels like Mother's Day is a lot even connected to kind of family day. It's a place where siblings can go, well, you know, even if they're not getting along really well or don't agree, they're going to kind of show up on some level together around Mother's Day, sometimes even more than birthdays. So it really feels like there's a nostalgia here. We'll see how it's aspected on the other side, but it really, on the other side of this card, but it really feels with this Two of Wands beside it to take the high road, to keep that elevated perspective, not so much looking back at the last couple of years, but looking forward to the next couple of years. Where would you like to see things grow? It actually is interestingly feels a bit more like your siblings than your mom, which is curious. But siblings also do fall into this position, and this could be a very big week for around Mother's Day connecting with your siblings. Oh, okay. We have another ace. We have another ace. So for those of you tarot readers, weigh in on this with me. Aces, fresh start, upgrades, turn over a new leaf. We've got turn over a new leaf in the monetary area, in the financial planning, in the buying and selling of real estate, of assets, of investments, and so on. Right in Taurus there. And we've also got turning over a new leaf in your ideas, your clarity. This is the position in this house is the house of Leo, which is about receiving attention, being seen by the world, being open to creativity, to romance, to creations of all types. This is the yes card. So This feels a lot like receptivity. It feels a lot like open your arms wide and say yes this week. It's almost like if people want to gift you, just say yes, thank you. Yes, thank you. Um, it's funny. It's like we had that beautiful relationship card there last week. This feels almost like it's about receiving gifts because we have this Ace of Pentacles is the gift card as well. So there's something about being in order to up level the big gateway, the big up leveler, we have to be able to say yes and receive. And, obviously, you're not going to change your whole relationship to receptivity in one single week, but maybe look for one opportunity this week to not look a gift horse in the mouth, to not go, oh no, it's okay. I don't need, I don't want, no, don't, So if you're a mom and you get a big gift from one of your children, say yes, say thank you. Yeah. Aw, new beginnings. Oh, I'm hearing a lot of, I'm seeing grief around the loss of family members and mothers in particular, mothers-in-law and so on, siblings. It's interesting because this nostalgia card, it gives us permission. This is your day to really remember your loved ones, and nostalgia doesn't always have to be sad. It can be like if you ever notice that you maybe get out some old photos or you take a little walk down memory lane and all of a sudden you see things you never saw before. I feel like that is something we could experience this week. We could go back to a place we've been, go to that same restaurant with mom that you've always been to, or get out the same photos or whatever it is your little practices are. And you could see something new this this time. Aw, yeah, yeah. All right. Let's see what the next level is. This is going to be Virgo, the house of health, healing, vitality, our habits, our lifestyle. Ooh, yes, we like it. We like it. We love it. The sovereign. Um, you know, I gotta say, there's a little bit with these two cards side by side. Leo is a lot about your sort of stepping up to the plate and taking your time in the limelight. It's like being number one. It's the ace being number one. Leo is about the ego being seen. And then Nine of Pentacles is a lot about sovereign independence, being seen, being autonomous. So both of those together, there's a lot of feeling like your time has arrived. Um, Step into the limelight in whatever way it's showing up this week and be seen. Take it's your turn. This is one of my new phrases that I'm saying around manifestation and up leveling. You know, it's my turn. Thank you to actualize an upgrade. It's my turn. I take my turn. Take your turn this week. Now, you could say, well, if everyone's taking their turn, what does that mean? And it actually literally means everyone's taking their turn, which means there's going to be a lot of energy in the frequency. There's going to be a lot of receptivity. There's good, sometimes I don't know if you've ever felt this. Have you ever had the experience where you're trying to give or share or make something happen? And whoever you're trying to collaborate with or convince or they're just like, "No, no, 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 I can't," or, "Well," there's a lot of resistance. It feels like there's a lot of openness to the best versions of ourselves stepping forward this week, which actually makes giving and receiving both ways a lot easier. So, receptivity, sharing, this is a card of sharing down in the root here. But also saying, it's my turn. Yeah, I'm totally going to receive this week. Cool. Okay. Oh, look at this. It's sort of that, yeah, love is something, if you give it away, you end up having more. There's a theme here, folks, this week around sharing, receptivity, giving and receiving. Um, it's interesting. We often say focus on giving, focus on contributing, focus on what you have random acts of kindness, what you have to offer to others. This week, it could be like focus on seeing balance in the whole karmic accounting books, like receive what is owed to you. Let it all just flow in, because it actually makes more to share. I don't know how this all relates exactly to all of you, but yeah. Aw, love it. So, a lot of saying yes, a lot of receptivity. This is like sovereignty without like ego and dominating others. It's like really claiming your domain without the need to dominate others. That's just beautiful. There's so much health in this. Jump in here, tarot readers. Like, look at this. We've got Judgment, the Ace of Pentacles, Ace of Swords, Nine of Pentacles, and Temperance. Temperance in the house of relationships, like your partnerships, your like serious relationships, business relationships, contracts, agreements, balancing the books, things coming into balance. This goes right out into the world stage. It goes out into politics. Like, uh, it's kind of karmic retribution on the up level, not on the, you know, an eye for an eye level. This is on the like one person up levels, or the frequency starts to move in a new direction and it just sweeps everyone into this new frequency of receptivity, of opening up. A lot of opening up here. Amazing. Right? Mystic Melody is saying so many good cards today, Ashala. I promise you, the not so nice ones are in here. They really are. Like, I'm just going, yeah, right? That guy right on the bottom. Like, let me just see if I can like see. Oh, of course I'm opening and they're all looking really good, but I haven't stacked the deck. I promise you. They're all the yucky ones are in here, right? Yeah, like you saw me shuffling. This is where we're at. This is where we're at. Hi folks that are just joining over from Rumble. My apologies. It's up there and it just keeps saying that I can't. It keeps saying that there's an error occurred. It's usually temporary. Wait a moment. It might be something on Rumble. Trying again. Yeah, no, it's not working. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so we are looking at the house of Scorpio. Scorpio is the big transmuter. It's death and rebirth. It's kind of the big heavy of the wheel. It's sort of like where karma is, like you won't get away from your karma. This is almost like your positive karma is trying to pay you out. Your positive karma is trying to come back around. And it's very interesting. They're showing me almost something like a distribution system where if you keep passing up your turn and going, oh no, somebody else needs it more than me, it's like it starts to, like, the ones that are greedy and are takers, they'll like, yeah, I'll take your turn, no problem. It's like, right? It's like, guess what? Most of our community are the ones that are going, oh no, I'll miss my turn. I want someone else to flourish. It's like, okay, folks, we got to just rethink this a little bit, because how does missing your turn help our community? the more we have to circulate, like this is finances, but it's also energy, it's value. It's like the more circulation amongst ourselves, the more we get to share, right? Just think, if you don't miss your turn, if you take what's coming around, um, you have more to spend on sharing, receiving blessings and gifts from other people in our community. You can purchase their services, you can purchase their products, you can, travel to where they live and stay in their Airbnb. Like, it's, you can make connection, you can, mutually invest in business together and do really cool things. So it's not about someone else needs it more than you. Think about, when you say yes to the universe, you're saying yes to our community. You're saying yes to what we could build as a future together. And this is like, oh yeah, say yes, wish fulfilled in Scorpio, death and rebirth, endings and new beginnings, across from the Ace of Pentacles in Taurus and beside the Temperance healing angel in Libra. Yeah, say yes, open your arms, receive, receive, receive. Everybody, when we finish this live, go stand up and do the I'm open to receive all the good things. I take my turn and share what I get with our community. Woohoo! Do the receiving dance. Scorpio full moon. Scorpio full moon is on Monday. Thank you for that reminder, Linda. Yeah. Because that is the fullness of endings and new beginnings. The vision for Scorpio is the phoenix rising from the flames. This is the phoenix. And you're the phoenix by saying, yes, I take my turn. I'm willing to receive what's in my virtual bank account, what's in my spiritual bank account. I'm willing to receive so that I can share, not so that someone else doesn't have any, so that more of our kind of people have. Yeah, beautiful. Hi, Anastasia. Happy Mother's Day from Melbourne. Uh, reality checkpoint of ourselves. Yeah, I agree. We really are. And what a great layout so far. Okay, let's take a little sec here to go into some information. Let's go back like that. And I would like to bring your attention to a couple of things. First of all, you know about the Ascension Organites and how they have these beautiful natural candles. And there is a special here. Wow, how gorgeous. So check that out. I'm just going to jump over and see what exactly is the special. No, I don't have it here. Okay, let's go to Janine and my past lives and relationships workshop. So this is tomorrow. It's live May 11th, Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, everybody. These two old moms are going to be getting together and chatting up a storm with all of you. We're going to be covering the really fascinating topic of past lives and relationships. Here's some of the questions we'll be looking at. How karma shapes your relationships across lifetimes, whether you're an old soul, a young soul. Why does that matter? How to spot past life connections in your life and in the tarot. the difference between soulmates, twin flames, karmic bonds, how to identify your soul family, work with those energies in this life. So it's going to be an amazing, probably about an hour and a half. It starts at 4 p.m. Eastern. Join us live or register to watch the replay after. We'd love to have you over there. So let's get back to our great reading for this week. Okay. Oh, wow. We were just talking about karma, and this is one of the cards that I associate with karmic, let's just say karmic events. And interestingly, this Six of Cups is another card that I associate with karma and past life connections. So we do have that two of the main karma cards in this little tiny spread, which is quite, relevant, I believe. Full moon in Scorpio, the full moons bring the fullest attention to the completion of endings and new beginnings, up leveling, going through the gateway, opening to receptivity, taking your turn. Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, kind of like this is what goes around, comes around spread. Good point. Thanks, John. And that is really what the laws of karma are about. And it's interesting because, I think people get concerned or there's a lot of misunderstanding. It's like, well, if karma is in action, why is it that some people do horrible things and get away with it? And it's like, well, that's where past lives come into play. It doesn't all get finished in one lifetime. So we have people that are doing amazing things and going through still a lot of hardship, which is really explained by paying it back or paying it forward. And we also have people that are doing really horrific things and seeming to get by with no negative consequences this lifetime. So again, it just helps us to see the bigger picture of the laws of cause and effect, what comes around goes around, karmic justice, and that if we leave it into the hands of the creator, it's a much better way to sort out the big picture of it all. We just can't see that big as individuals. So, that's kind of where those parables in the Bible of, those without sin cast the first stone. Like we just don't understand the bigger inter-lifetime pattern, who we've been, who they've been. And so we do our very best. We take the high road. Look at this, 2 cards about taking the high road, regardless of what other people are doing. And we let the creator and the lords of karma sort that out. We don't get all invested in trying to seek revenge obviously we stop as much as possible. We make huge boundaries and stop perpetrators, stop, the evil, which is misaligned, out of alignment, power dominant forces from oppressing us and hurting others. But we don't try to figure out a way to, put out the karmic justice. We really acknowledge that there's a bigger piece going on here and it liberates us. Yeah. There's a real feeling of liberation here this week, like upgrade, liberation with the judgment, liberation with 2 of Wands, liberation with 9 of Pentacles, and with temperance. And justice is in the house of Sagittarius. The truth. Sagittarius are the truth warriors. The Sagittarian people are the one that are going to tell you the truth, even if they put their foot in the mouth and it gets them in hot water. It's like Sagittarius is about the high road. It's about higher philosophy, the truest values, integrity, authenticity, transparency, justice. Justice in the house of all of that. We're going to see the next level up of karmic justice. Whew, that's a little bit wild, eh? Oh, I told you this, there was some tricky ones in there. He hasn't shown his disturbed face for a while here. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of the backstory about this character because people get really worried. They're like, oh no, I don't want to have anything to do with anything that has a devil image in it. What I refer to with this card is that it is energy, that it's basically the sickness that comes from power and dominance and greed and over identification with the material realm. So it's where that energy ends up getting distorted. You go too far down any path, it starts to distort. It's basically frequency imbalance is what it is. And we want to bring frequency, we want to harmonize up level frequency. And we all have a part in this because every one of us goes to imbalanced places. We act unconsciously, we do things unconsciously, we ingest foods and things that aren't good for us. We say, do, think hurtful things. Like none of us are you know, perfect and always in integral alignment. That would be Christ consciousness. And we would probably not be needing to hang around here much longer, right? So we all have work to do in this area. And to point the finger out in the world means three fingers are pointing back towards you. It's this energy of, where is that? Where is that evil? Where is that imbalance? Um, where can you restore integral alignment? This is interesting because we have the innocence at the bottom and we have that disintegrity at the top. Each one of us has charge of one, let's just say one bandwidth of that. So if you see yourself like a giant toroidal field, you have one frequency band that you're responsible for, which is your kind of chakra system, your soul's integral alignment. And we all could work on this. There's none of us here that are perfect in this or that hold that frequency permanently. So as we get closer to, it's interesting what the guides are saying is as we get closer to true alignment, there's a wobble. We all we don't just go kind of ease into perfect alignment. As we get really close to alignment, we start to do a wobble that is it's almost like you ever notice when a spinning top does that wobbling thing and then it eventually goes faster and faster to that still point. Or it can do the wobble and just stop, right? So where oh my gosh, I'm like, we're talking about twisted noodles and wobbling tops. It's like, but there is this energy of where are you at and how are you continuing to work to align your own frequency, your own toroidal uh, bandwidth ray of consciousness. We have an opportunity to look at the places that we're still wobbling a lot and say, how do I work on that? Yeah. Ah, similar to the Lover's card. Yeah, right. Similar to the Lover's card. And that's a good point. Thank you for that, Mystic Melody. Um, it does have the same two characters on it, and the angel is now the devil. So I call this card the medicine shaman. It's the one that gives us the poisonous medicine of like, okay, here's where distortion is, here's where you're misaligned. You need to correct. Like, how do you correct that? And again, the more we each do that with ourselves in our little personal lives, the more the frequency on the planet is like those clocks that come into synchronized frequency, like, you know, tick-tocking together. Um, so the Lover's card is a lot about choice. It's a lot about, like, we have choice. We have choice in every moment. We have choice what we focus on, what we think about, what we ingest, what we consume, what we release, what we share, what we receive. And, clear the bandwidth here, folks. Really watch what you're bringing in terms of toxicity. Yeah, devil is devil is an angel fallen. Oh, Mystic Melody is saying, "Weeble wobbles, they don't fall down." Yeah, we're definitely a little weeble wobbly, right? So, but again, we can come into higher frequency alignment. And that's, I think, what's being asked. And there's look at all the beneficial stuff. It's just this top position. And you know what that is? That's the crown chakra. So there's something, this feels like a very big crown chakra week, everybody. So what do you need to do? You need to breathe deeply, keep the third eye open, stay grounded, breathe all the way up to your crown and in and out of your crown. Like, keep that energy moving. Any practices that involve breath, alignment, frequency, sound baths, um, you know, being around trees, holding trees, they have that. Many of them are very upright. It's that energy of the frequency, that bandwidth. So yes, and the Lover's card is about choices. So we're acknowledging which side are we choosing in each moment. Mhm. Yeah. Devil card in Capricorn house. Big choices and revelations. Big choices and revelations. Yeah, because Capricorn is representing the institutions, the big world politics, um, and also time. It also represents time. So I do feel like we're claiming back our sovereignty with regards to time. And look at how we do that. We do that by claiming healthy habits. Remember, I talked at the very beginning about slowing everything down and not letting yourself get so distorted by the intensity of the outer world. Kind of, it's like they're saying, not stealing back time, but like returning the frequency of time alignment. Because it could really feel, even in the next 2 weeks, 15 days, that time is going like, whoa, very, very fast. Aw, it's interesting. I just saw your comment there, smile always. What can we do if we are with a partner that is always in an ugly mood? And it's so interesting. You've called yourself smile always. Um, yeah, I just find that very, very curious. I, I guess what I want to put to you as a riddle is, how do you smile? Like, what allows you to come to the peaceful place where you can smile and really be joyful, regardless of what's going on around you? Because that sets the tone. And it's interesting. People say sometimes, well, I want my partner to change. I want them to do better at this or not do this or do whatever. And it's like, if you hold the frequency of the person that gets to be with the one that is doing the thing or not doing the thing the way you want, they have to change something. They will either go further away, which is very obvious, right? It's like they will either choose to opt out of the relationship eventually because they can't match your frequency, or they will come in. So the best way to change someone else is to stay in the bandwidth that matches what you want the change to look like. And when you do that by smiling always, but doing it from a place of real self-awareness and like no one is going to take your smile. You're going to find a way to deepen what it means to be reverent in your own life, sovereign, no matter where you are. And as you get clearer in yourself, they're going to wobble. They're either going to come into frequency alignment or they're going to fall out. And then you'll have your answer. Yeah, which is really what's there anyway. So it's the way that we give them the opportunity. I often talk with clients where they're saying, like, I want to leave. Well, not often, but sometimes I talk with people where they say they want to leave their relationship. And if they only could, get up the courage to leave, their life would be better. And I say, well, the guides often suggest if you have the willingness to make that big of a change, why not just change yourself in the relationship first and come into that frequency? I mean, it sounds easy. And yes, it is really challenging when you're met with that on a daily level, when you've grown into these bad habits. But look at this. The House of Habits this week is all about sovereignty. It's all about autonomy. It's all about being strong in yourself. You'll have extra help with that this week. You're saying yes, yes to help. It's not just saying yes to money and gifts, it's saying yes to spirit help. And you're saying yes to making choices. Interesting that we have the number 6 at the bottom here, and the devil is, when you add the 15, the 5 and the 1, it's another 6. 6 is actually a harmonic number, but the devil is out of balance, imbalanced. Aw, you're welcome, smile always. Yeah, so surprisingly, it's often in the little details, because look at this. This is where we find our autonomy, is in the little details. We claim back the little things, um, and we find ourselves gradually getting stronger and stronger in frequency alignment. And that creates change in the outer world. And it happens in our personal lives, it happens within us, it happens in our closest relationships and our family dynamics, and ultimately, even on planet Earth. We can have a huge influence in this way. Okay, we are closing the gap here with Knight of Swords in Aquarius. Huh. Yep. So please don't take the bait, is what the guides are saying. Please don't take the bait. Don't. This is pretty prickly, right? We've got this devil here and this angry warrior heading off on a rampage in the house of social life. Also, this could be social media. There could be some big, big kind of fights and power games on social media, some real nasty kind of name calling and stuff like that. So don't take the bait. Um, really don't take the bait in anything that people are saying or doing. Notice that it is that wobble that I was talking about. And the more that is happening, the more you're going to focus on alignment. Take the high road. Yeah. And just keep receiving the reflection of what you want to see in the world, what you want to be in the world, and what you want to see in the world. One of my favorite practices these days is to say, even though this, and this, and this, and this, and this, I am still becoming this, and this, and this, and this. I am still expressing this. I am still experiencing this, even though, you could say in spite of, which is kind of spiteful, but it's actually kind of warrior like. It's like, oh no, You're not stealing my joy. You're not stealing my life force. You're not stealing my all my attention. You're not stealing my heart, my consciousness, my goodwill, my generous spirit, my compassion, my love of beauty, my creativity. You're not stealing all that. Yeah. It's an active revolution, folks, to as it gets more wobbly out there to get more strongly frequency aligned because you are and we are, this community is the ones that are setting that tone for all the clocks to come into synchronization with. Mhm. Yep. And finally, oh, 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 do the happy dance. We got another ace. We got another ace. Three aces is turning over a lot of new leaves. This is a big upgrade. This is a big up level. We've got Ace of Wands in the deep subconscious. Um, you know, the guys are just saying it's like you may be surprised at what a whole new level of inner resilience that shows up. You're like, where the heck did that come from? Like patience, alignment, inner peace, purposefulness, a feeling of like, yeah, it's my turn. I'm receptive. I'm going to say yes to good things coming my way. It's like, this is kind of exciting because this is the catalyst card and it's in the house of the deep subconscious Pisces. Pisces is like, in a lot of ways, the shadow aspect of us. So, it's interesting. Seeds sprout in the dark. Hmm? And this community are so many well germinated seeds ready to sprout. We sprout in the dark. Think about that this week, everybody. Notice that you are sprouting in the darkness. That's like this top area. Now I want to just speak about this part of the wheel for a minute because this is the house of Capricorn, Aquarius, Sag, and then Pisces over here, right? Well, this top area, often in readings, you'll see what looks like literally something is about to erupt. And again, remember I talked about the crown chakra? This is something in the crown. Like if you can hold your line of integrity and really work on breathing and expanding and opening through your crown chakra this week, so, like we can have an immediate up level frequency wise and not get swept off balance by what appears to be whoa. Yeah, we've got choice about how this is going to happen. Don't take the bait. Yeah. And at the very center is the boundary queen, also extremely visionary. And look at this. Look at how high up she is. She's the most elevated of all the queens. And the queens are a lot about our self-knowledge. They're kind of like the students. The kings are like the masters that are already like acting in such a way with things. But the queens are learning and they are teaching. So, Queen of Swords is about vision. She's about like rising above all of this messy stuff and keeping clear vision. Um, Revelation with that judgment card, a lot of revelation. Um, yeah, Linda says observe, not absorb. Observe, not absorb. Great way of saying it, Linda. Thank you for that. Yeah. Aw. Oh, John is saying less coffee this week. Okay. Well, I'll pick up that gauntlet if you want to put that down. Like, it's really not about shaming or blaming ourselves for whatever habits we have. But it's really about knowing, like, do we really want that coffee, or are we just acting like it's got a hold of us, right? Really notice why you're doing things. Um, are you doing it because it's what you really want? It's your greatest desire this moment? Some mornings it for sure is. Have you ever noticed that some days I find when I'm really, really like in alignment with drinking coffee, it tastes so delicious. And other days when it's just like, oh my God, I'm half asleep, I need to drink my coffee, it just doesn't taste that good. So I think noticing this, like, why do we do things? We're making boundaries with these, like the things that are just out of habit or the things that are just out of programming. I think she's just going to cover that guy right up. Bye bye. Break the chains, right? She just went in there with her sword and broke up all those chains. So, mhm. Wow, this has been exciting and interesting. For those of you just coming on here, I'm going to pop on over and remind you Janine and I are here tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern. We'd love to see you. It's going to be an amazing sharing conversation. We're answering incredible questions. We've got a great discussion planned. And of course, you can chime in with us, ask us questions, and we'll get a lot of mileage out of. I think it's going to be about an hour and a half, and it's going to be incredible. So come on over and join us there. Of course, as always, please remember to like, share, and subscribe over here on the YouTube channel. And, well, hopefully Rumble's going to be fixed soon. It didn't work this time around. My apologies, everybody. Yeah, it still says upcoming. That's too bad. Um, so yeah, it's been beautiful to share with all of you. Have a lovely week. Have a wonderful Mother's Day, Family Day, Siblings Day. Share with that nurturing part of yourself and do the receiving dance when we finish here. Open your arms and say yes to the universe. Look at all this. 3 aces. Ace of Wands, like literally catalyzing new energy, new frequency, new motivation, new mojo. And Ace of Pentacles, rewards, gifts, and Ace of Swords, clearing away the old boundaries with that Queen of Swords and saying yes. Open your arms and say yes. Awesome, everybody. Oh, and just want to remind you over here about what's coming up. Also, tomorrow, we've got, let's go over here and see the new Wu-Fi, 1 to 2 p.m. Tomorrow is Jean-Claude and Janine. And Beyond Astro at 7 p.m. to 8 with Meg. Have a beautiful week, everybody. I look forward to seeing you again real soon. Blessings. Bye for now.